Welcome to this epic DJ gear battle, which is between the reigning champion, the Pioneer CDJ-2000NSX2, and the challenger, the new Denon SC5000. Come a little bit closer so we can see the differences. Or, well, differences. There's not too many differences because Denon has certainly taken a good look at how the Pioneer players look, because they've really imitated it, and they've done a good job at it. I think it's a little bit more easy on the eye, the Pioneer, because it's all black and there's more colors here. And the material looks solid, but there's a lot of screws mounted in it, so it's a little bit more, well, uneasy for the eye. But in that perspective, I think for the look, the Pioneer looks a little bit more smooth, and the Denon a little bit more full. Now the Denon feels more solid. The platter runs more smoothly, offers a little bit more resistance because it's heavier, and also these buttons here offer a little bit more resistance. Makes it feel more solid in comparison to the Pioneer, which of course has this strange sound, does a little bit cheap, and these buttons which also feel a little bit more breakable. Also the material of the platter of the main body is more steel-like, so it feels a little bit more solid, and with the Pioneer it's a little bit more plastic. And if we look at these faders, the tempo faders, also more resistance, feels more solid. So overall, Denon feels more solid. So what are the difference in features if we take it from top to bottom? Well, the screen is better and bigger on the Denon, win for Denon there. It controls very easily via touchscreen. You can control all parameters via touchscreen, and with the Pioneer you still have to use these buttons to get through menus. So a win for Denon there. Shortcuts, well, it's similar, so no real advantage for one or the other player. If we take it downwards from there, we have this button to make manual loops. Very easy, very handy, just like a lot of controllers have. So that's a plus for the Denon, I think. Wheel adjust, yeah, the resistance of the wheel, well, more or less similar. Take it from there, this is your backwards playing. Don't use that a lot, but okay, that's personal. The platter, as I said, works better on the Denon because it's heavier, and it has this nice feature of putting your logo in there, which is cool. Other features in your main control are comparable. You can beat jump, which is also taken from controllers. You can actually skip in a song without losing the rhythm because it jumps on the beat. These buttons work the same, play, pause, cue. But this section, of course, is an added value for the Denon because it works, again, it's taken from controllers to have all these functions like hot cues, loops and rolls ready and available under all these different buttons. So you can program a lot of loops, do rolls that have different lengths, slice it up. All these things are controllable via these nice colored LEDs here. And the Pioneer does not have that. It does not say it doesn't have those features, because you can do a lot of this stuff on the Pioneer, but it's a little bit more hidden in the cue functions and on your screen. So if you take this as your screen and the touch screen, you can do the same, but I think the handling is better if you take a look at the Denon, because you have the buttons on your player. Take a look at the pitch. If we look at the Denon, it has this nice light, which indicates that it's on 0. Very handy. Pioneer doesn't have that. Doesn't have a click, so it's a little bit harder to get it on the 0. Master tempo, which is called, well, it has no real name. It says reset here, but that's a function to keep the tone the same even though you change the tempo. Much improved on the Denon, because if you play a song, let's give you a little example. I'm gonna shift up the pitch range. We're up to almost 50% slower than the original, and it still sounds nice. If you do that with the Pioneer, you will hear a lot of effects on that tempo. So that's really a sonical improvement on the Denon. Denon did two things to enhance the safety of the player, which means it will keep on working when you play, which is you can actually disconnect the power cord and it'll keep on playing for 5 to 10 seconds You'll have to reconnect it in that time. And it also, if you disconnect the USB stick while you're playing, it'll keep on playing the whole song. So it has buffered the whole song, which means you have the rest of the song to put in the USB stick again and get it working or mixing to the other player. Both players work with their own software, which is Rekordbox for Pioneer and the Prime software for the Denon. They work in almost the same way. The Denon software is not yet that far developed as the Rekordbox software, but that will happen over time. So, and now the important part, the conclusion. And you can see it coming already. The Denon really wins. I mean, in all aspects, nearly all aspects, it's better. It's never any worse than the Pioneer at any department. So this is really the better player. No doubt about it. It really works fine, does everything the Pioneer does, but takes it to the next level. So it could well be the next Pioneer player. If Pioneer were to release their next player, I would think it would look like this. So Denon, job well done. Next question is this going to be the next industry standard for the coming years? Is this going to be the player that is going to be in clubs and festivals, and are all A-League DJs going to embrace this one instead of this one? I have to go back to my own experience back in the days when I started, which was everyone was playing with record players when I started. But the first CD players had just come out. There were these double deck players, very hard to use, not comparable with this one. And when I started DJing, Pioneer released their first player. And it was really a turning point, not at that moment, because all DJs said when I started to play with CDs, you're not a real DJ. Real DJs don't play with CDs, they play with record players. But I thought it was much handier to play with the CDs, because you could actually burn your own music on the CDs, more compact, more reliable. But it took a long time before all the pro DJs went over to playing with CDs. So professionals are pretty, stubborn and also a little bit conservative in their choices. And that is a shame for Denon, because I think for DJs to step from this one to this one, and I'm talking about professional DJs that play weekly in clubs where they have gear there, I think it's going to take a lot of effort to get those DJs to play with this one, because the differences are not that big that you have to use this one to be able to do the same things that you're used to running with the Pioneer player. And of course there's an extra hassle to it, which is you will have to convert your collection to the Pioneer, to the Denon system. You're used to playing in Rekordbox and you have everything organized, and now you have to make a transition, which is not yet possible in a smooth way. You have to use Record Buddy, and okay, that could have some tricky stuff in it. But it will have a lot of impact on your workflow, because you have to put all this extra effort in it. We have a great offer for you, which is if you now buy this player at our partner tonecontrol.eu, you get a discount of 10%. So if you're interested, go for it now. It now has a discount of 10%. We wish you all the best in choosing the right DJ gear, and we'll keep inspiring you to become a true professional DJ.